On today's hot sheet, I'm discussing the slowest summer pace of home sales since 2015. The 10 best cities for new construction. Builders are getting beat up. Here are the 10 cities that they're not. And mortgage applications for the past week. Where are they going? Today is Wednesday, August 20, 2025. I am Byron Lazine, and the hot sheet starts now. Okay, live from Naples, Florida. So good to see a bunch of you guys hopping into the live chat. We got San Jose, Silicon Valley living in the house, Sonora, California. My West Coasters, I love you guys. I'm an early riser. This show opens when the market opens, 9:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast. But I love seeing all the California folks here ready to go and attack the day. Gary Ashton, not on West Coast time, but in Nashville. Good to see you, Gary. And let's get right into it. We're in the dog days of summer. I say all the time, especially when it gets to August. Like, August is the one month of the year where I'm just like, just get me to September, please. I've been this way. I know it sounds crazy. Even when I was growing up, you figure you'd be hanging on to every last day of August. Get me to September. I know that's when you're back in school and all of that. But the dog days of summer, they just tend to drag. And I like when times are a little more serious. August seems unserious, unmotivated. August typically leans into, let me just grab those last 2 weeks of kind of screwing off with the summer. And that's all good. I love it. If August is your relaxed time, as Gary Vee would say, I love that. Go for it. Do it. But I like serious times. I lean into September, feels a little more serious. I like serious people. I like serious things. I like serious conversations. I'm not a big fun guy. If I'm going to dinner, I like a serious restaurant, serious conversation. A table over 6 people is just a little too unserious and silly for me. I like 4 to 6, eight's the max. And that's just my style, right? And so I'm looking forward to more serious times. I think September and October, and those are pretty serious times. You get a little uptick in your market, a little more interest, a little more serious people operating. Right now, this summer, the unserious times, the more laid back times, Redfin is reporting here with this new data that homes are selling at the slowest summer pace in a decade. Summer tends to be slower. People are vacationing and, having fun, silly times. This summer in particular, it's leaning even heavily more into that as the market is responding to, where the activity is. And Redfin is reporting that it's the slowest summer pace in a decade. So, typical home went under contract in July, sat on the market for 43 days. That's the longest July span since 2025. Okay. Just yesterday on the hot sheet, if you go back and do the replay here on YouTube, hope you're subscribed to the channel. Or if you listen to replays, they're up on Apple, they're up on Spotify. If you missed yesterday and you go back and listen or dig into the BAMX show notes and slides that we have in school, you'll see that Zillow is reporting that in their history for July, the history of data, we're talking about 2 decades, homes were sitting on the market the longest. So Zillow says, hey, July was the longest 60 days homes were sitting on. Redfin, just a little bit of tweak in the way they're looking at the stat, homes that actually went under contract in July on the market for 43 days, for them, the longest over a 10-year span. So we're seeing some trend lines here with the big portals, a lot of data, and obviously, the traffic's undeniable. They're both saying the same thing. Hey, this July, the timeline of homes sitting on the market is expanding, not shrinking. And we're not at pre-pandemic levels of inventory when you look at the country. I get it. Some places are. You look at the Sunbelt states. Some of them are. But when we're just looking at the U.S. and we're looking on the averages, we're under pre-pandemic inventory, yet this time on the market is stretching. Okay, we don't need to dump 7 million homes of inventory onto the market. That's a cutesy thing that people want to blame everybody else for the affordability issues. Want to come out and say, hey, we just don't have enough homes. We don't have enough homes in certain geographical locations. But just to say dumping 7 million homes on the market is the solution, I'd argue that it's not. I don't think there's 7 million buyers out there. It's time for Jerome Powell to really start to think about, hey, what can I do from the Fed perspective other than drinking rosé out in Jackson Hole, which he'll be there with the committee in a couple of weeks. What can I do to potentially help with the rates? And Jerome Powell is creating, I shared this tweet from Pulte, keeping rates high. Jerome Powell is creating longer-term housing issues. I get it. The Fed fund rates don't directly impact the 30-year, but the market needs to see a trend line moving forward that rates are moving down. There will be an impact on the long term on the 10-year and the 30-year if the Fed starts making decisions to realistically move these rates down. And Jerome Powell and the Fed are just not helping. Here's the typical home for sale on the market. 2025 coming in at 43 days, highest since 2015. This is interest rates that are holding homes on the market longer. Okay. We don't need 7 million homes being dumped into the market. Homes are taking longer to sell because demand is shrinking due to high home buying costs. Yeah. That's the easiest way you can get home buying costs down is not spending the next 3 years swinging a hammer. The way you get home buying costs down is with interest rates. This is an interest rate sensitive industry, sensitive business. Okay. The housing supply is moving down. We get it. But it's at a 5-year high, guys. Okay. It's a 5-year high. Housing supply, when I say moving down, it's ticking down here like unexpectedly in the last couple of weeks. It's actually not accelerating like it was end of the summer. So the caption here on Redfin, housing supply ticks down just slightly. It's been moving up here, obviously multiple months. So a little bit of weird way Redfin is putting that caption up there. Remains at a near 5-year high. So inventory 5-year high, but not to the level that we saw in 2019. Okay. We're not at 2019 levels. If we just look at 2019, active listings of U.S. homes for sale, seasonally adjusted, November 2019, according to the way Redfin breaks this down, 2.1 plus, and we're sitting here at 1.9 plus. Okay, so we're still not at 2019 levels nationally for inventory. And you go pre-2019, that inventory swells up considerably. Okay. Sellers are pulling back because they're seeing, wow, I thought I put a good price out there. I thought I had a good invitation for my home. Price is invitation. Sales price is different from list price. I thought I had a good invitation and I just didn't get anyone to show up to the party. Like I had the fruit punch. I even went out and got a jumbo shrimp cocktail. I had lobster tails. It wasn't potluck. Nothing worse than a potluck picnic where everybody's got to chip in. Hey, the host was doing everything. This was exceptional. The host said, just bring yourself, bring your appetite. Don't even bring drinks. I got you. Okay. I've got everything figured out. And they did a really good job hosting. And it's like, whoa, nobody showed up. It was shrimp cocktail, lobster tails, maybe some stone crab. If you know about stone crab, that's the best of the best. And nobody showed up. How could that be? Now, my invitation was so good. Sellers are going out to the market thinking their invitation is exceptional. And I get it. Some sellers are tricking their invitational price with yesteryear. That would have been a good invitation 3 years ago, not maybe a good invitation today. They need to be more realistic. But sellers are pulling back. The median home sale prices rose 1.4% year over year to July, 443,000. highest July level on record. Prices rose 0.9% year over year in June and 0.7% in May. So a pop up in July. And this is notable because home price growth was shrinking at the beginning of the year. We're still not doing anything crazy like we've seen in years past on home price growth. And the home price growth is maybe less than some sellers' expectations who saw this wave flash before their eyes, didn't take advantage of it, and are now pulling their homes off the market. That's one of those things that's impacting the last couple of weeks where it's like, wow, there's some downward pressure on inventory when we thought this was really going to take off. Okay. July housing market highlights overall. Mention the median sale price. This is across the U.S. from Redfin. Okay. Redfin's got us coming in at a 4.1 existing home sale seasonally adjusted annual rate. That's the highest I've heard anybody say. Realtor.com's lower. NAR is lower, but Redfin usually is an outlier on a lot of things, particularly their feelings, which they share in a lot of their headlines. 4.15 million on existing home sales seasonally adjusted annual rate. Pending home sales coming in at 470,000. That's down 1.1% month over month change. New listings, 526,000 seasonally adjusted, 0.4% down month over month. Total homes for sale, again, the 1.9 seasonally adjusted active, down 1%. Months of supply, interesting. Redfin has 3.1. NAR's got this up over 4 months of supply. I think if you're in a Sunbelt state, you're like, yeah, you wish 3.1. And median days on market, 43, highest level seen since 2015. Here's some metro highlights that I'll just go over. Prices, median sale price rose most from a year earlier in Cleveland, 12.8%. Nassau County, 7.1. Indy, 7.1. They fell most in Oakland, Jacksonville, and West Palm Beach, Florida. Pending home sales rose in Phoenix, 11.2. Austin, 6.8. Austin becoming one of the more affordable markets in the country for young buyers. Houston, 6.1. They fell. Those were the pending home sale increases. They fell the most in Portland, Miami, and Tampa. Okay. There's some highlights there from Redfin. All the slides that used in that are going to be available inside of school for BAMX members, whether you're on the phone app or the desktop. Just hit the classroom tab. You obviously got all the new this week content, but if you're looking specifically for the hot sheet, just scroll down. You have the hot sheet, daily market data, all my show notes, and the slides used here. We're going to get into Realtor.com now. Realtor.com's got a report on new construction markets here. The top 10. Talked a lot about builders yesterday with the builder data that came out, and builders across the country are feeling the pain. They were on a scale of 100. NAHB reports on the consumer survey or the builder survey rather, that they're down at a 20 for foot traffic on a scale of 100. They're just like, there is no foot traffic. It is subpar for builders. Okay. And if you look at where their confidence was, down in the 30s, over 50 is what's considered decent. So builders are getting beat up and they're all building in the same places. Here are the top 10 markets identified by Realtor.com for new construction. I mean, look, the Sun Belt states, that's where they build. You have an outlier in Maine, and then you've got two other outliers there in the top 10. But if you look at the top 10 metros for new construction, it's how they're breaking this down. It's the factors of new home shoppers are looking for. It's a robust combination of the factors that new home shoppers are looking for. Any of them would be a worthy location to search for a newly built home. These are the top 10 metros. So if you look at the criteria, new construction share of listings, 2025 top new construction metros, they're ranking the top 10 markets that best combine the availability, affordability, sustainability, and desirability of new homes. They focus on the 100 largest metros to come up with this top 10. And here's the deal with these top 10 overall. New construction share of listings comes in at 33%. New construction premium, price difference between median new and building listing price, and median existing home price is 33%. Climate risk. So the climate risk difference, percentage difference between the average flood, fire, air, wind, and heat risk factors for new builds compared with existing is 17%. And then the hotness, they have that hotness tracker of new construction coming in at 17%. So what you don't see Florida on this list, giving those variables. Here are the top 10. Springdale, Rogers, Arkansas area, Boise, Idaho, one of the outliers, Nashville, Tennessee, and McAllen, Texas, Portland, Maine, Madison, Wisconsin, coming in at 6, Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville's an up-and-comer. Austin, Texas on 8. I see Jeremy Knight moving to Austin on the live chat right now. Charlotte, North Carolina, and then Raleigh, North Carolina. Charlotte and Raleigh, I'm super bullish on those two areas over the long haul. If we break these 10 down a little bit deeper, the market in Arkansas here is at 43%. New construction is the share of listings. Boise, 50% is the share of new construction. Nashville, 37% of listings is new. McAllen at 27%. Portland at 22%. Madison, Wisconsin, 25%. Greenville, 30%. Austin, 1 out of 4 homes in Austin, new construction. Charlotte, 28%. And then Raleigh, 47% right now. So there you go on the top 10 new construction markets, according to Realtor.com. Now, Realtor.com's got a lower number than what you hear as the high end. They're sitting at U.S. facing a housing shortage of nearly 4 million homes. Yet this summer, this slow period, the slow time, you're seeing records being set for homes on the market the longest. I still have a problem with the 4 million mark. We're 4 million homes short of demand. Well, not at these rates. We're not. Clearly not. These rates are holding this market back, and you're seeing these long extended, time periods for homes to sit on the market. If you were to tell me, hey, we're 4 million homes short to meet demand, and 60% of them need to go into the Northeast, I could start to buy that. There's places they don't build that there's still significant population. Okay. The Let America Build campaign from Realtor.com is trying to encourage more inventory. There is, an argument to be made. If you just dump 4 million homes in the market, no question about it, prices are going to move down. But the problem is you can't build 4 million homes and where prices go with that much inventory actually make any kind of profit on those 4 million new construction homes. That's why you're not going to see 4 million homes built in a year. Okay. There's too much red tape, too much regulation, high cost of labor, high cost of materials. And if you put 4 million homes in the market at once, yeah, you'll see prices definitely go down because they'll be sitting, 10 months of inventory for builders will look really small at that point. Okay, we had a really small increase on mortgage rates over the last week. We're still hovering near year-to-date low. We hit the year-to-date low last week, and then it kind of popped up a little bit. How did applications respond? Mortgage applications decreased slightly from the week earlier. So we have a week-over-week decline on the headline data for mortgage applications. 1.4% according to Mortgage Banker Association. Now, that's great. We're really going to look at where the purchase index came in. Seasonally adjusted purchase index increased 0.1% from 1 week earlier. So moving sideways on the purchase, we'll take that. That's another feather in the cap where you can claim week over week increase. It's 0.1. Don't go crazy here, but the bigger number and the number now that is consistently moving up week over week over week, 23% higher than the same week a year ago on purchase applications for mortgages. When you look at the year over year number, now multiple double digits increases on that metric, which should start to reflect future pendings, future sales. they get any more cooperation with the rates, that those numbers could continue to move even higher. If realistically speaking, if we take a look at where we're at, I don't want to start sounding crazy on the rates. Obviously, we're still coming out of historically low levels on mortgage applications, but we are starting that climb up and out of the basement that was only seen since the great financial crisis recovery and 1995 levels. When you look at population factors and capita here on this, it's like the lowest level ever for mortgage purchase applications. So getting back to where we need to go. Refinances pulled the overall headline number down after a little bit of a refi surge there recently. Okay. If we look at the 10-year right now, starting off this Wednesday, we've kind of just been hanging the same spot all week. 4.3 is where we're at. 4.3 is the high side over the last 5 days. It's right about in the middle over the last 30 days. And pretty good spot if you're thinking about the last 90 days. So 4.3 on the 10-year. 30-year ticked up slightly yesterday to 6.6. Again, August the 13th, 6 days ago, was the year-to-date low at 6.53. 6.6 is where we're at today. 10-year not suggesting much of a shift. We're gonna see the Fed meet in Jackson Hole here at the end of this week. We got Fed meeting minutes coming out today. We're going to break that all down tomorrow. They're 28 days away from their next meeting, their next actually official meeting, not the symposium that they're doing this week in Jackson Hole. CME Group is projecting an 83% chance that there will be an ease of rates by 25 basis points. And we'll see if there's any indication like there was last year pre-election in Jackson Hole, when Jerome Powell, sitting in Jackson Hole, said, yeah, I think it's time to start cutting right before an election. We haven't cut before. We haven't given any signals of cuts, but now seems good. Does he do that? Maybe he just feels good in Jackson Hole, and maybe he's going to do the same thing this year. I know there's not an election in November, but maybe, just maybe, Jerome Powell says, hey, JP Morgan projected 4 to 5 cuts between now and the end of the year, which means we'd have double cuts. And I'm in alignment with them. I'm going to do it. I'm going to save our chance at refinancing our debt here at the end of the year. I'm going to go ahead and start signaling cuts to the market. We haven't seen any indication that he will do that based on statements leading up to Jackson Hole, but he felt good in Jackson Hole last year and said it. And maybe he'll say the same thing this year. We'll have to wait till the end of the week on that. Polymarket, the D-Gens betting there, say only a 70% chance, so a little bit lower than CME Group, that there will be a cut in September. Okay. Later today, we've got a office hours inside of school. Just go to your school calendar, office hours, content audits from Eric Simon, the broke agent himself, along with head of video here at BAM, Bobby Kowecki, both going to be answering your questions, walking you through your social personal audits. That's today, 3 p.m. Eastern, office hours inside of BAMX, inside of school for BAMX members, 12 noon on the West Coast, and 3 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast. Okay. Along with for BAMX members, along with that, you get your weekly content drop every single Friday and your hot sheet show notes, along with all of the other on-demand content and courses inside of school, to the #1 community to help you close more deals today. BAMX, school.com/BAMX. All right, there you go. There's your hot sheet for today. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. We get to break down the Jerome Powell FOMC meeting minutes from a meeting that we know was not an agreeable meeting. First one since 93, where we had 2 dissenting votes. We get to break it all down inside the minutes tomorrow on the hot sheet. Make sure you're subscribed. And until then, toodaloo.